Hello everyone. So in this video I will be doing a review of John Wick Chapter 1, the original movie in or rather the first movie in the series of John Wick, the John Wick franchise. So John Wick is an action thriller movie released in 2014, and it is rated NC-16 for violence, and it also has some coarse language. I'll go through the cast and the details of the movie before I go into the plot and my comments on it. Okay, so John Wick is directed by Chad Stahelski, written by Derek Kolstad, produced by Basil Iwanik, David Leitch, Eva Longoria, and Michael Witherill. It has cinematography by Jonathan Saylor. The editor of the movie is Elizabeth Ronaldsdottir, and it has music by Tyler Bates and Joel J. Richard. And it stars, of course, Keanu Reeves in the lead role as John Wick, Michael Nyqvist, Alfie Allen, Adrian Palicki, Bridget Moynihan, Dean Winters, Ian McShane, John Leguizamo, and Willem Dafoe. His co-stars in the movie, and it was produced by the production companies Thunder Road Pictures, 8711 Productions, MJW Films, and Defy Night Films. The distributor of the movie was Summit Entertainment, and the release date was October 24, 2014, and it has a runtime of 101 minutes. And so the movie was made with a budget of between $20 to $30 million. Now I'll go into the plot of John Wick. So at the starting of the movie, we see John crash his car into what appears to be animal shelter. We don't know what's the building because it just looks like some building in the city. So he crashes his car and he falls out of the vehicle, and we see that he's injured and he's bleeding, and he's holding his wound, and he kind of just sits on the floor and lies down, and he pulls out his phone, and in the phone he plays a video of him with his wife. So he's recording his wife, and they're at the beach and they're having a nice time, and so he's just looking at the video that he took of her. And then we go to the past, what happened before that. So we see that his wife was diagnosed as being terminally ill, and so she passed away from her illness, and so that left, of course, John very feeling very lonely, and it was a big loss for John Wick, and so he was in the process of trying to move on, and he received a gift and a card through the mail, and the gift was actually a puppy, and in the card we see that his wife wrote that she wants him to have this puppy as a kind of a final gift from her, and because she also thinks that he needs someone or something to show his love and care and affection on, and so she is gifting him this puppy as a final gift, and also as a way of saying goodbye. This is the last goodbye, and so he takes to the dog, and he's just going out with the puppy and bringing the puppy around in the car, and so he goes to a gas station and to refill his Ford Mustang, and there's a group of guys who one of them approaches John and compliments him on the car, and also asks how much is the car, and John says it's not for sale, and so he looks at the puppy and asks how much is it for the puppy, and John also says it's not for sale either, and so the person who approached him is not very happy, and so they have a little exchange of words there, and So his friend comes and pulls him away and just tells him to tell John to go on his way. And so we see that John is at home. In the next scene, we see John at home, and he's attacked by these people, this group of people, this gang that confronted him at the gas station, and they steal his car, and also they kill the puppy in the process, and they also injure John Wick, beat him up, and injure him. And from that we see they bring the car to a kind of a auto shop where this person apparently knows whose car it is. It's John Wick's car, and so he punches the guy who stole the car and also curses him and asks him to leave. And so from there we see that John Wick, at first he appeared to be just a very normal guy living a normal life, and he just recently lost his wife and he's trying to move on from that, or rather trying to deal with the grief and trying to live his life. And so we see that he's not actually a very normal guy. He's actually a legendary hitman. And so we see the villain of the movie, and we see the people who know him talking about his story and saying that he will definitely come for the car and for revenge for killing his puppy, which was the final gift from his wife. And so what John does is he goes after the gang, and as a revenge for, because he wants to take revenge for them killing the puppy, which is he treasures it because it's special to him, and also he wants to get back his Ford Mustang, his car. And so he goes in search of the gang, and the movie basically is he goes his way, finds his way to them, and he manages to, in the end he does manage to kill the villain, the guy who first confronted him and who is the cause for all this. And he also kills his father, who is the villain, we can call him the main villain of the story, and his son being his son and him are the main targets of John Wick's revenge plan. And so he does kill them in the end. And so this movie, when I watched it, it first felt like it wasn't meant to be as such a huge hit, because it felt like something more of one of those movies which are a bit more lower budget and meant to be one of those movies you just watch by chance, not something that was meant to be such a huge hit. So the whole movie is very dark. It's short. There are more scenes in the dark, in like nightclubs and in the dark outside, and although there are scenes in the daytime, but they still feel very quite dark. Overall, the tone of the movie is very dark, and like that they kept it that way. So I believe there's intentional. They did it through the color grading to keep the storyline, the mood of the movie, to keep it consistent. And also the action scenes are fantastic. So there are many hand-to-hand combat scenes, and there are many fight scenes with weapons and with of course with guns, and all the action sequences are awesome to watch, and quite thrilling to watch. If you like action, then you'll definitely love to see the action scenes in John Wick. And the storyline is also the storyline for John Wick Chapter 1 is rather well, it's a very simple storyline. So, but the director and the director has managed to keep the audience engaged by by making them follow the story, follow what is happening in John Wick. So there isn't any point in the story where I feel that it is a little boring, because everything seems to be necessary, and overall it flows very well, flows very naturally. So that's a good thing. And also there's a line in the movie which is one kind of iconic and also funny, but also it adds a kind of a wow factor at the same time. So the villain of the movie is saying, I once saw John Wick kill 3 men in the bar with just a pencil, a fucking pencil. And so that's kind of funny, but also it is believable because of the way that it is said. And it adds to the legend of John Wick. So we kind of want to see that happen. Like, we want to see him kill 3 men with a pencil in sometime in the future, in the next movie. And John Wick, I've heard of John Wick is a pop culture icon now, but I think when the makers of the movie first made it, they did not expect it to be as such a huge hit as it turned out to be. But that's the content, that's the strength of the content. And it's a brilliant action thriller movie with many brilliantly shot, choreographed and shot and executed fight sequences and action sequences. And also in the last scene is a kind of a battle between John Wick and the main villain. So the father of the guy who first stole his dog and killed his dog and stole his car. So that shot in a rain season, raining during a rain time where it is raining at night, and it is at the pier or a dock in the port. So it's very nice to see such action sequences where it is shot very, though it is violent, but it's shot in a way that is very pleasant to see. And especially with, like raining and doing fight sequences in the rain, so you can kind of enhance the movements because of the water colliding and flowing with the movements of the people and all that. And overall, it's a kind of a nice way to end the movie. That's how I felt about the final fight scene. And yeah, so overall it's a great action thriller movie to watch. And once I finished watching the movie, I felt like I had to watch chapter 2 as soon as possible. So I immediately downloaded John Wick chapter 2, and so I tried to watch it over the next 2 days. And so now let's look at the commercial success and the impact or legacy of John Wick chapter 1. So at the box office it did $86 million, so that was a huge hit compared to the budget, and so they grossed a lot more money. And it is considered as one of the top action films ever made, and it is a cult sleeper hit driven by strong word of mouth and positive critical reception from critics and the audience. And John Wick chapter 1. So John Wick is a legendary, we see how legendary he is, a legendary hitman, and he executed his revenge. And that concludes John Wick chapter 1. And my review, I would give John Wick chapter 1 9 out of 10. And yeah, so what do you think about John Wick? I'm sure that many of you have already watched chapter 1, John Wick chapter 1. And if you have watched John Wick, then do let me know what you think of the movie in the comments, and do let me know what you think of the John Wick character and the franchise also. And that's all I have to say for this video. And thank you for watching, and until the next video, take care and goodbye.